Today.
Welcome everyone to our meeting today, and I will call this to order at 4:04. Please stand and join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Moving on to 1.2, adopt the agenda. Are there any changes? Anything?
I have none.
Is there a motion to adopt the agenda?
I move that we adopt the agenda as posted.
And a second?
I will second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor? Jerry?
Aye.
Amy?
Aye.
Melissa?
Aye.
And I also agree. Motion carries. Moving on to the consent agenda. 2.1, consideration of approval of warrants and payroll for Northern United Humboldt. 2.2, consideration of approval of warrants and payroll for Northern United Siskiyou. 2.3, consideration of approval of minutes for the May 10th board meeting. 2.4, consideration of resignations, hires, leaves, and changes. And 2.5, consideration of approval of Williams uniform complaint quarterly report for NUCS Siskiyou. Are there any comments on any of these?
I'm gonna find it. Did you get there, Jared? Yeah. Oh,
Lots of
the paper.
activity in the resignation, hires and leaves.
Oh, yeah, there's more coming.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, I'm sure there
We've been doing hiring like crazy.
is that
Yay.
time of the year.
And that's a good thing. I do have one comment on 2.3. The minutes did not reflect Melissa's absence last week or last month rather. And so I think that needs to be amended.
Right.
And hearing no other comments or questions, is there a motion?
I
I'll
move
motion
approve the consent agenda with the minutes correction
Is there,
as stated.
is there a second?
I second.
Okay. It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor?
Did Amy or Melissa second that?
They were together. Heads and
I
tails.
mean, because of you, yeah.
Okay.
All those in favor? Jerry,
Aye.
Amy,
Aye.
Melissa,
Aye.
and I also agree. Motion carries. 3.1, public comments on items not on the agenda. Comments by the public. Under this item, the public is invited to address the board regarding items that are not on today's agenda. Please keep your comments concise, brief, and limited to 3 minutes. The board is not allowed under the law to take action on matters that are not on the agenda. Should comments from the public pertain to a charge or complaint against an employee of Northern United Humboldt Charter School or Northern United Siskiyou Charter School, the board encourages the speaker to utilize the school's written complaint procedure to pursue the matter. The public will have an opportunity to comment on all agenda items as those items are heard. And hearing none, we will move on to our public hearings. We slide down here. Okay. 4.1. I'm going to open the public hearing at 4:09. And it's 4.1, public hearing 2023-2024 education protection account resolution and planned expenditures for NU Humboldt. Sherry?
Okay, well. So the EPA, this is for Humboldt, and then the next item it will be for Siskiyou. The public hearing is the opportunity for members of the public to comment on the spending plan for these funds. And the rules regarding these funds are kind of somewhat stated in the resolution that's included in there too, but really the big one is it can't go to any administrator's salary. So what we have used it for every year, as far as I can remember that we have received this, is teacher salaries. And so it says like instructional, is what it lists on the plan. And so that again is our plan for using these funds for this upcoming year. So if anybody has any comments on that, this is your time to do that.
Are there any comments or questions for Sherry? Okay, hearing none, I'm going to close the public hearing at 4:11 and move to 4.2, which will open at 4:11, which is the 2023-24 education protection account resolution and planned expenditures for NU Siskiyou.
And this is the exact same thing, a spending plan for these funds for this upcoming year. Again, we'll use them on teacher salaries. It just says instructional in the plan, and the resolution speaks to that. And again, because this is a public hearing, this is the opportunity for anybody to give any comments on what our plan is for these funds. And this part is just the public hearing, and then a little bit later in the agenda, you'll see the adoption of the plan and the resolution.
Are there any questions or comments? Okay, hearing none, I will close the public hearing at 4:12. And move to 4.3, which we will open at 4:12, which is 2024 final budget adoption for NU Humboldt.
And I'm gonna let Tammy speak here.
Is this one I'm supposed to report?
Yeah, sure. I mean, we may as well do it now, don't you think?
I didn't bring it. I thought it was.
I have it right here. I mean, they vote on it tomorrow,
Okay.
but I think it's good to. You want the Siskiyou one too while you're staying in here? I think it's good to talk about it now because this is because this is a public hearing, it's the public's opportunity to comment on our budget for the upcoming school year. And first we're doing the Humboldt one, and then we're doing the Siskiyou one. But I feel like for them to be able to comment on it, it seems like we could report on it now.
Okay, so. I'm not gonna go over page 1, because that's pretty self-explanatory. Budget adoption, this time I just left it pretty bare. I just showed you the revenues that we have coming in as of now. And then I put down our expenditure amounts, and at this time you could see that we're deficit spending by $561,497. So we're using some of our carryover to compensate for them from last year. I'm sure this, our revenues will go up as we go. That always happens for us from budget adoption and on. The next part is our stirs and furs. Stirs is not gonna increase for the next few years, so that's just gonna be the same. Our furs will, as you can see. At this time, this year and 2 years out, our budget will be positive. So I would recommend voting it as positive tomorrow.
Thank you. Are there any questions or comments for Tammy? And hearing none, at 4:15, I will close the public hearing and open at 4:15 the public hearing for 4.4, which is the 24 final budget adoption for NUCS, even though it does say right here 2023.
One thing I didn't say about Humboldt's budget adoption, I just want to say that because it's gonna pertain to this, is for Humboldt, we've spent all our COVID funds, so that is kind of why our spending, it's coming out of more, our general fund now, we don't have those backup funds. But with SIFU, we have a lot of the, revenue still for the COVIDs, we gotta try to get those spent this year. So the spending over there is not so much as deficit spending. And you can see our revenue, it came in at 2 million. And our expenditures are only 2.3 million. That'll change as far as our revenues. So at this time, our budget is positive as well as of tomorrow.
Any questions or comments? Okay. Hearing none, I will close the public hearing at 4:16. And at 4:16, I will open the public hearing for 4.5, which is the 2023-2024 Local Control and Accountability Plan for NU Humboldt.
All right. So again, because this is the public hearing, we don't actually vote on this now. The way that it is in statute for both the LCAP, which is what this is, learning, the Local Control and Accountability Plan, and the budget, is that you have to have a public hearing on it at least a day, 24 hours before you actually vote on it. And the idea behind that is so that if the public were to give any input on it, you would have time to make amendments if you wanted to before you actually voted on it the next day. So this public hearing right now is for the Humboldt LCAP, and that was in your packet. And the LCAP starts out with kind of just a budget overview for parents. It's kind of a little summary of the spending on this past year, how it related to our LCAP, and then also our plans moving forward with how the budget and the LCAP are related. They mirror each other. Again, the LCAP for Humboldt just has 2 goals. We've had the 2 goals. This is we're going into our 3rd year of the 2 goals. In fact, these are 3-year plans. And so this upcoming year is the 3rd and final year of this plan. So not a lot of changes, every year in that 3-year time, it's the same goal, same actions. Really, the big changes are the dollar amounts. But for the following year, we'll be starting over with a new 3-year plan. So that's where we could make, major changes that we want to in terms of the LCAP. So as of right now, like I said, not a lot of changes as to what we've had. But this gives all the updates on all the data from the year. Or the prior year, even in some of the metrics cases. And then the updated dollar amounts for the revenue and how we're going to expend the revenue.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Any comments or questions about that?
I'd like to comment on the document as it's presented to us in our packet. It's filled. First of all, I enjoyed reading it.
Ooh, that's nice to hear.
And so then sitting here now, I'm asking myself, is it because of my
Your background.
background? Because I really appreciate,
Data and.
the language and the way it's laid out.
Mhm.
But then I'm wondering, how do parents
Yeah.
see this?
Mhm.
And, I would like to think that some parents take the
Mhm.
time to look at this. I mean, it certainly is extremely revealing about who we are,
Mm.
what we do, where we're headed. We know we have these particular issues
Mhm.
that we're working on. This is how we propose to remedy some of these issues, some of these situations.
Mhm.
And it's I just as I said, really enjoyed reading through this, and because it talks, the recommendations, and like we need more contractors,
Mhm.
so we need, and talking about
Yeah.
the partners, and it's just extremely revealing. It has so much for anybody who is interested. They can go to this out of a myriad of other things,
Mhm.
and this is what NUCS Humboldt is about. Is aspiring what we're doing, what we're aspiring to do. And I would say the same thing for the next one coming up. For Siskiyou, it's a pretty much mirror image, just different data because of a different student base, and all of that. So I just want to have the opportunity to say that.
Well, that's nice feedback. We have to present these. We work with our parent advisory council, which, remember, was a school site council, but it switched this year to parent advisory council. So I met with them several times.
Mhm.
It was presented to them before it came here,
Right.
And that is a group of people. Well, one of them is an educator, actually, who's on that. One of them is a teacher, but it is one of those things where we talk about, like, is it language that people understand? Is this, how can we make this more digestible? And that's something I actually really look forward to working on with the new 3-year plan, like when we can do the major changes, in the spring of next year, winter and spring of next year. Really working with that PAC group to make sure that it is digestible to all.
Mhm. And that's something that we as a board have always strived, is to make it understandable, whatever we're working on for the general public. And we continue to do that. But Jerry, all you needed was some popcorn there, because I could see you at home in your chair, really getting excited. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other comments or questions? Okay, hearing none, at 4:24, I will close the public hearing. And at 4:24, we will open 4.6, which is the 2023-2024 local control and accountability plan for NUCS.
All right, again, this is the public's opportunity to give any input on this document if they had any. And with the Siskiyou LCAP, it has 3 goals and has for the last couple of years. Again, it's on the same track, that 3-year plan. So coming into this year, the 23-24 school year, that will be the last year of this plan, and then we'll start over. You guys remember that for our annual goals, annual board goals, that we adopt in August, I think, or September, somewhere around there. I do kind of a merging of the 3 Siskiyou goals and the 2 Humboldt ones to, kind of make sure everything is included. But yeah, so if anybody has any comments, happy to hear them.
Ditto?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just an interesting roadmap, if you will. If someone chooses to take time to read this. Good job.
Any other comments or questions?
I guess I would say, as a board member now and knowing that this exists, I definitely see the value of the work you guys do to get this information out to us parents, and being able to go through it, and all the questions that you have as a parent, like, what is the school doing about this and that, and how are they making sure our needs are met as a family, et cetera, and being able to see that every year you guys, we as a school, and it's expected of us as a school to do that, to look at what we're accomplishing and track the data. And so I also think that it is pretty digestible, although a little overwhelming because it's a lot of data. It's
And long, really a long document too.
right. And I think that more parents, as they know how I don't know, awesome it is to be able to know that we can see how the school is doing and what the school is doing. I think more people would take the time if they knew. So,
And just so you know, these get posted on our website. So if you're ever having a conversation with a parent, you can direct them to look at it on the website.
Yeah. That's a good reminder.
And I also want to say thank you, Kirk, for your work on that, on the Siskiyou LCAP.
And you too, Sherry. Thank you.
Kudos to both of you.
Can I just ask really quickly, Creekside, is that Lisa or Sarah?
It's
It's
Sarah.
Sarah. Okay, thank you. I know Linda will want it for the minutes. That's why I'm asking. Thank you.
Yes.
Okay, hearing no further comments or questions, I'm going to close the public hearing at 4:28. All right, we did that in good time and good conversation about those items. Moving on to 5 action items to be considered. 5.1, approval of education protection account resolution and the 2023-24 EPA planned expenditures for NU Humboldt.
Okay, so this is exactly what you saw in the public hearing a minute ago. Earlier I commented on the fact that it was in statute that the LCAP and the budget public hearing and adoption had to be at least a day apart. There is no statute that says that for the EPA, we can have the public hearing and vote on it in the same day. And so that's why we're voting on that here, but not the LCAP and the budget. But again, there are two pieces to this. One is the resolution, which is basically us resolving, you guys saying, attesting to the fact that you agree that this is, with all of these whereases, but ultimately it's that the money will not be used for salaries or benefits for administrators, and we're going to publish this on the website, which we do. You can go on there and see all, the year's EPA spending plans on there. But so that's the resolution. And then the other part is actually the expenditure plan. So it's kind of a twofold item. You're adopting the resolution and the plan.
Are there any questions or comments? Okay, hearing none, is there a motion?
A motion to adopt the EPA resolution 2023-2024 and EPA planned expenditures for Northern United Humboldt Charter School.
Is there a second?
I second the
second.
motion.
Sorry, guys.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor, Jerry,
Aye.
Amy,
Aye.
Melissa,
Aye.
and I also agree. Motion carries. 5.2, approval of education protection account resolution and 2023-2024 EPA planned expenditures for NUCS.
Okay, and this is the same thing, the resolution and the expenditure plan for the EPA funds, but this time for Siskiyou rather than Humboldt.
Any questions or comments? And again, hearing none, is there a motion?
I'll motion to approve the education protection account resolution and 2023-24 EPA planned expenditures for NUCS.
And is there a second?
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor, Jerry,
Aye.
Amy,
Aye.
Melissa,
Aye.
and I also agree. Motion carries. Moving on to 5.3, approval of warrant distribution authorization form CS-1 and certification form CS-7 for NU Humboldt.
Okay, so this is an annual event. Every year, the county office asks us to update who it is that can pick up our warrants, our checks that are to go pay the bills and stuff, and who it is that can sign for things. So CS1 talks about who can pick up payroll and who can pick up the commercial warrants. And so you see the names that we have listed there. And it is Linda, and then our new fiscal person, Kelly Withers, me, Rosemary, Jerry, and Amy. And Melissa, don't mean to leave you out, but you're not in Humboldt County. Your name's on the Siskiyou one. You'll see that next. And then same with the commercial, we put Kelly. She'd be the one to pick it up. But that one is just actually the emergency contact of who they need to be, because for the warrants, the commercial warrants, they don't make anybody sign for it like they do payroll. So anyway, that was CS1, and then CS7. This one is certifying who's allowed to sign, like the approval of checks, both payroll and the warrants. So on that one, it is me and Kelly. I should have had Kelly sign this when she was here today. I didn't even think about that. So me and Kelly, that's what the authorized signature down in the bottom left corner is. But then up on the top, where all the names are listed, that's who can pick it up. I think who can pick up payroll. Yep. And they're the same names as listed on that CS1. Okay.
Okay. Any questions or comments for Sherry? All right, hearing none, is there a motion?
Motion to approve the certification of signatures for, are those out of order? Was that Northern United first?
Northern,
It's
Humboldt
5.2.
first,
5.3, yeah, we're on 5.3.
Oh, okay.
yeah,
Oh, I think I have the wrong agenda up. That makes sense.
okay.
So I'm saying the right words. We're good. My motion to approve the certification of signatures for Northern United Humboldt Charter School.
I'll
Um,
second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor, Jerry, Amy,
Aye.
Melissa,
Hi.
and I also approve. Motion carries. 5.4, approval of certification of signatures for NUCS.
Okay, sorry, this is a similar item. The forms are slightly different because it's a different county office. So one of them is certifying again who is allowed to sign for in the Siskiyou one, they say for any contracts, either employment contracts or entering into any contracts, as well as the warrants, the commercial warrants and payroll. And again, I put me and Kelly. And then the other side is just the board's approving that. And then the other form is who can pick up what items, and they let you check who can pick different things up. And so on that, it's Vivian and Kirk and Melissa. There you are, Melissa.
So can I ask a question?
Sure.
I have the documents that were given to me. They seem a little different than what you were just describing, I guess. I have the Siskiyou County Office of Education authorization to pick up district documents.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right, and then the other one is the certification of signatures. Okay, they're the same. I just don't remember having a board member sign for picking up district documents before, but
Yeah. We usually just have extra people on there just in case, like if you and Vivian couldn't go do it for, it's just nice to have multiple people.
yeah, or maybe, Greta might be a logical choice too, but whatever.
Any other comments or questions? And hearing none?
Yeah.
Be good to add her to it, because we can certify it with the addition of her.
No, that's fine, whatever's good, but, okay.
Go ahead. We haven't made a motion or anything, so we can.
I guess, and the copy I have is blank, and the copy from the packet has names filled in, so maybe I just need to get the copy from the packet printed out or something. I just got the copy that the county office gave directly to me.
Yeah, no, I had it in the packet and I had it filled out. And so once Rosemary and Amy and Jerry sign it, I'll mail it to you so you can get Melissa's signature. And I have to have Kelly sign it too. And then you'll be able to give it to the county.
Okay.
And that's that first one.
Are we good?
I think so, and that goes the same for the authorization for pickup of district documents. That one you will send after signatures, or because he has a blank, that one's blank.
Yeah, I have it filled out in the packet. And so
Do we need to wait for the original from you and then get Melissa to sign it, or just have two different originals?
for the one for Siskiyou, yes, I'm having everybody here sign it, then I'll mail it through, and then you can, get Melissa to sign it and submit it. The one from Humboldt, because that needs Melissa's signature. I
Send
think
it,
maybe what I'll do is after everybody here signs it, I'll email it to you and you can have Melissa sign it and send it back, maybe, I don't know. And then I'll just include it with the original.
okay. And you could probably do the same with the one that the Siskiyou stuff you're signing now, just scan it and email me, and then I can print it up, and then whoever needs to sign it, and then we can
I
just
don't
turn
have
that in.
Kelly's signature on there yet. I'm not gonna have Kelly's signature yet.
Okay,
Until tomorrow.
Yeah,
yeah, then do it tomorrow or
it's
whatever.
always, this one is always hard when we have to have all the board members sign it,
Because we're.
because we're separated, yeah.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other comments or questions?
Mhm.
Okay. Is there a motion?
I move that we approve the certification of signatures for Northern United Siskiyou Charter School.
And-
Yes.
And a second?
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor, Jerry,
Aye.
Amy?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry.
Melissa?
Hi.
And I also agree, motion carries. Moving on to 5.5, the approval of the 2021 federal and state taxes for NUCS.
Okay, so every year we file taxes. Of course, we're exempt from income tax because we're a nonprofit, but you're still required to file taxes. And there were two different items in here. One was the Form 990, which is the federal income tax, and then the other one was the Form 199, which is the state tax. This technically does not require board voting on. It's just usually just an information item. But I don't know, I've always had you guys vote on it, so I put it in the action item part. But they have already been completed and turned in. There was e-filing, and I just put our copy in the packet for you guys to see. And that was done by our auditor, who is, you know, as of this upcoming Friday will be our previous auditor, but our new auditor will be doing the taxes, you know, next year, so.
Are there any questions or comments? Okay. Hearing none. Is there a motion?
I move to approve the 2021 federal and state taxes for NUCS.
And a second?
I'll second.
You can do that, Melissa.
Melissa or anything?
Melissa.
Okay.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor, Jerry,
Aye.
Amy,
Hi.
Melissa,
Aye.
and I also agree. Motion carries. 5.6, approval of financial statements with independent auditors report for fiscal year 2021, 2022 for Siskiyou.
Okay, so you guys might be feeling like you're having deja vu all over again. You guys already approved the Siskiyou audit, but it had to be revised because after, I don't know, more research, I don't know why. I don't know why how he discovered that he needed to revise it. But, or maybe he always knew, but he just didn't have the single audit included in it. I think we've talked about this before, where if an entity receives $750,000 or more within a fiscal year, then a separate audit has to be done that's called the single audit, which is a federal audit. And so I think maybe after he finished the audit that he did, he realized that Northern United Siskiyou fell into that category. So he issued a revised report that is the exact same report that you saw before, but with the addition of that federal single audit included with it. So that's what this is. So it's not really any new information. It's not like there's any new findings or anything like that. The findings that were in the Siskiyou audit originally are still there, no difference in money or anything like that. It's a requirement to do the federal single audit, it's what it's called, when you receive over $750,000 of federal revenue in one fiscal year. So that's what this is.
Any comments or questions? And Jerry, were you going to?
No.
No? Okay, hearing none, is there a motion?
I move to approve the financial statements with the independent auditors report for the fiscal year 2021-2022 for Northern United Siskiyou Charter School.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor, Jerry,
Aye.
Amy,
Aye.
Melissa,
Aye.
and I also agree, motion carries. Moving on to 5.7, approval of financial statements with independent auditors report for fiscal year 2021-2022 for NUCS.
So this one is different. This is not something that we've seen before. This is a combined audit of Northern United Humboldt Charter School and Northern United Siskiyou Charter School. So that's why it's just an audit for Northern United Charter Schools. You might remember in my search for a new auditor that the new auditor that we did contract with let us know that because we have the same federal tax ID number, we should be having one audit that includes both schools. And so I told that to our current auditor and he did research and he agreed. And so he did create one for us. So it is the exact same information really that was in the Humboldt one and that was in the Siskiyou one, but just kind of combined. You see their financials side by side labeled per school. And then, you know, kind of like an overall total. So it is a little different. I mean, it's the same information you've seen, but a different format. And I think that's what we're going to be seeing exclusively moving forward. We will just have the one.
Oh, well, good. I do recall you pointing
Remember that?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Sure.
Are
And
there
so
any-
Sherry,
Yeah.
so we still had to do the revise of just Siskiyou for that school year when we're also doing like a revision of including both schools together.
Yes. And it was because he has uploaded them to the state separately, like every year. And he was doing that this year as well. And so he felt like it was important to make sure that the one he uploaded separately for Siskiyou included everything that it was supposed to include. And all that single audit stuff is in this combined one too.
Okay. Thank you.
I think he was just being sure to be very thorough.
Right.
Are there any other questions or comments? And hearing none, is there a motion?
I'll motion to approve. Go ahead, Melissa.
Okay. Sorry, guys. I'll motion to approve the financial statements with independent auditors report for fiscal year 2021 to 22 for NUCS.
Is there a second?
I will second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor, Jerry,
Aye.
Amy,
Aye.
Melissa,
Aye.
and I also agree. Motion carries. Moving on to reports, 6.1 is the enrollment and attendance report, which is in our packet. Are there any questions or comments? Okay, 6.2 is the financial report for NU Humboldt and NU Siskiyou. Again, any comments or questions?
Anything you want to share?
This is just our monthly.
Yeah, okay.
if you guys see anything out of line, now's a good time to ask a question.
All right, hearing none, we'll move on to 6.3, Director's Report.
Okay, so lots of end of the year stuff. On June 9th, we had a retirement open house for Roxy and for Tammy, and one of our teachers who was retiring as well, Heather Charlack. And Roxy and Tammy's last day is June 30th, so it's coming upon us, but it was a really nice event. Lots of people attended. It was really nice. On June 11th, we had the Siskiyou High School graduation. As usual, it was a really nice event. Beautiful day some of the time, and then dumping rain some of the time. It was weird weather. On June 14th, we had the Humboldt graduation, both 8th grade and high school. I thought it was a nice graduation. I enjoyed it. I don't know how you felt, Rosemary. Our keynote is a professor at College of the Redwoods, and that was on a Wednesday. That Friday, I went to the community school conference in San Francisco, and he was a presenter there as well. So yeah, so I saw him twice in that week.
New material or the same?
New material.
Oh.
On June 16th, like I said, several of us attended the community school conference in San Francisco. And we have hired a community school coordinator for both schools, and they have already started communicating and collaborating. June 22nd, the records office moved from the office in Petrolia to here at that end of the wing. And it was very successful. The movers did a great job. I think there was zero downtime, and like not one missed phone call. I'm going to go out on a record to say that not one missed phone call, not one missed email. All the files are accounted for. That all went really well. The scanning project is still happening. We are well underway, but we didn't get it finished before the move, which was our ultimate goal, but we weren't able to get it done before. So we do have stuff in storage, and we're continuing on that path, getting everything scanned. What's in this office is every Northern United Charter School record. What's in storage is Mattole Valley Charter School records, old records. But we're over halfway through of scanning. So, Mattole Valley Charter School was open, I think, for 19 years or something like that. So we're well on our way of getting that done, as well as it's not just student records, it's also personnel records from that time too. And then let's see what else. June 26th and 27th. So the beginning of this week was Avid Summer Institute. We had a lot of staff go to that. That ended today. They are on their way home now. Also this week, I think on the 27th and 28th, yesterday and today, maybe, we're having the Mount Shasta facilities move from the two previous ones, Alder Street and Pine Grove, into the new ones on South Mount Shasta Boulevard. I'll be presenting to the Siskiyou County Office of Ed Board at their board meeting on August 23rd to do an official addendum or amendment to our charter petition. Humboldt County did not, after they did their legal research, they decided that changing facilities did not warrant a material revision of the charter document. Siskiyou County does like to do an amendment for that, so we'll be doing that officially in August. And then we have lots of summer programs happening this summer in Wairika, Willow Creek, Arcata, Cutton Learning Center, and then here at Cutton Resource Center, Debbie's offering various summer programs too. So lots of stuff going on, still doing hiring. Linda and I will be happy if we don't ever have to do another interview again. We feel like it's been going on for months. But we are wrapping it up. But although every time I say that, then something else pops up, I feel. But
we still have one more round.
Yeah, one more round
For instructional aides.
Yeah, we still have some aides to hire. I think we actually have a secretary or two to hire too. Yeah. But anyway, it definitely the end of the year is upon us, and we're wrapping everything up and getting ready to start next year. And that's it.
So the 23rd, The 23rd is our summit.
Ah. Thank you for
So
pointing
maybe we'll
that
have
out.
to do that in September instead or something.
Last gallon. Okay, thank you.
She doesn't mean that. You can't see her body.
Well, I
language.
mean, I'm glad to know it now. I'm glad to know it now. Okay.
Any other comments or questions for Sherry?
I would like to ask, in the midst of, and I realize it's not a high priority, but in the midst of all the filling of, vacant positions, we have a vacant position. Has there been
Yes.
any
No
inquiries,
nibbles.
any movement on that?
No nibbles, no nibbles. We'll do a big push. What we talked about doing is having the flyer about it with the back to school enrollment packets
And, you
on
know,
the Siskiyou side.
and we do have a, depending upon the amount of time that passes, we can fall back on what we had done previously as a stopgap measure, until a proper Siskiyou individual comes forward.
Yeah, you're right.
Which for the two newest members benefit, that option, and it was, did we, Rosemary, did we put that in the bylaws?
I think we do.
Yeah,
I think we
that,
did.
that after a certain amount of time and
If
that
we
we
couldn't find a member of the other county.
county that
We could get one from.
from.
Mhm.
And so,
I feel pretty confident that when it's like back to school time, we'll be able to find someone.
okay.
Maybe I'm Pollyanna.
Well, I. kind of heard
We'll
that
find
before.
someone.
We'll see, it's
Yeah.
premature, and also, for the benefit of the two newest, members, the moving of the records, is something that's been, advocated for, worked on for a very long time, and I'm talking, basically predating even the NUCS formation, because of two previous Matol individuals that had been advocating for it to come here. So we're talking, you know, for NUCS, 4 years or so to bring the records office, if you will, to here. And so that's finally come to fruition. And so it's a big deal because it was no small, easy task to be done. But as Sherry had indicated, you know, worked out. So I just wanted to point that out, that it seems like just something in the course of business, you know, day-to-day business, but in reality, it was not. So.
Thank you, Jerry. Any other comments or questions? Moving on to 6.4, which is the Northern United Humboldt report that's also in our packet. And is Rebecca still with us? Oh, there she is in her car. Do you have anything else to add? rocking out to music. That's
I don't have anything to add, but it's been a wonderful end of the school year.
Yeah.
I'm glad the year's over.
Well, this report shows that. And it's just, yeah, possibly because it is the end of the year and there's so many end of the year activities. But, and so, you know, this report shows that it definitely exceeds any of the other monthly, reports. It's just so impressive. And, you know, I mean, you captured every single type of event. I mean, one of the things that really jumped out at me was, you know, seeing the, long jumpers, the pictures of the long jumpers, and then the other ones that, the track and field championships in McKinley, going to go, oh yeah, I remember, you know, those at McKinleyville, you know, back in the day of being involved in that. It's like, oh yeah, this is great. This is really great. And, you know, for the whole gamut, the whole rainbow of things. Good job.
And
Thank
it has evolved, or you have copied Kirk into color pictures.
No, it's just,
Excellent. It just takes it to a whole nother level.
Great.
Any other comments or questions for Rebecca? And hearing none, we'll move on to 6.5, which is Northern United Siskiyou report. Kirk, do you have anything to add?
The only thing I'll add, I guess Sherry alluded to it, but we're in the throes this week of moving both of our buildings in Mount Shasta. I think this has been talked about at a previous meeting, but essentially we've had two locations that are like across town from each other, and it's been really challenging and inconvenient in many ways being split apart like that. We've been looking for a while for a new location, and as it so happens, Golden Eagle Charter School bought a big old church, a new location, so they've moved out of a couple of buildings that are really sort of turnkey for us. I mean, they're ready for us to move in, but so we've been moving this week, but it's been logistically challenging, having movers show up to two different locations. And then some things are going in one building and some things are going in the other, and some things in one building are now going in the other building at Mount Shasta and vice versa. So that's been quite an experience this week, but I can't say that it went as quickly and smoothly as the records office move, but it's going along. We should be done by the end of this week. Moving out anyway, then it'll be a long process all summer long to paint and rearrange and get everything set up.
And of course, the teachers, Kirk isn't gonna say this because he's modest, but the teachers are all on summer break. So he's doing this kind of on his own. And
Greta
you know,
and Lily.
yeah, Greta, I mean, yeah, but it's, you know, this is his summer here.
yeah, but when all is said and done, you look back and think, whoa. I did this.
Was I think-
accomplished, and everything will just flow so nicely in the future compared to, you know, what you've wrestled with crosstown issues.
Yep. Yeah, we'll be happy once it's all said and done for sure.
Yeah. I have to say, Kurt, in your report, the very first picture, you know, when you open it up, and for me, at first glance, I thought, dang, they're all in hazmat suits. And then you focus in on, you know, the description, and then I look a little more carefully. Oh yeah, those would be.
Sure, yeah. Yeah, anyway, Kate, yeah, she's actually our new community school coordinator too. I don't know if you made that connection or not, but
Oh, cool.
All right, any further questions or comments for Kirk?
Mhm.
Moving on to the board report, 6.6. Jerry, anything?
No, I'm fortunate and glad that I'm not traveling and could make these two important board meetings this month.
We're glad to. Not because you're not traveling, but why you're here and because you can't travel. Amy, anything?
No.
Melissa?
I wanted to say thank you to Amy for joining as a vice president. Thank you for taking that part for us.
Thanks. I'm like, what did I do? No. You're welcome.
And also, I wanted to just thank you guys and say how good of a job you guys did working on the protocols for onboarding and offboarding, as well as the roles. I really enjoy it. It was like being with you guys. I was definitely at times like, oh wait, I'm just watching a video. That's so it was really nice to kind of feel that creative energy and working out all those kinks, and it's just such good work. So thanks.
Yeah. And I just have a couple of comments. As Sherry said, I did attend the graduation at CR, College of the Redwoods, for our high school graduates. And graduation is always an emotional time for me, and this also was. But I'd also like to thank everybody that contributed, not just the people in front of the spotlight, but those that were behind the scenes that made that day so very special for our graduates and their guests. It was just a lovely ceremony. Thank you. And now we'll move on to 7.1. Our next board meeting is possible agenda items.
Well, I think you know, because you've already gotten the agenda.
Yes.
It's basically, it's adopting the 2 budgets, adopting the 2 LCAPs, and then working on the roles of the officers of the board members for the handbook. I think that's the only thing on the agenda, if I'm remembering right.
And
Well, I can wait. This is a suggestion for September.
Okay.
As you well know,
September or August, because we do have a
September.
board member. Okay, board member in
September,
August.
sorry,
Okay.
it's just that September is the month that candidates for board vacancies, have to file and all of that. Correct? It's usually in September
You
that
have to file.
if
Oh, you mean to see if they want to run again?
well,
You mean
but-
like for district?
or
boards?
there's an open seat and they have to go to
The office,
yeah,
yeah, the
registered
elections
office.
office. Mhm.
and file the paperwork and all that, and
So that they can be on the ballot in November.
correct. And so I'd like to have us think about making this a permanent procedure, that in September you, as the director, ask those board members whose terms will expire
In December.
in December,
Mhm,
if what their intentions are.
mhm.
And just so that we begin to institute that as a
Mhm,
regular formality.
mhm.
Because we all know that our terms are staggered,
Mhm,
and we started off in the very beginning Linda remembers this too, you know, with the straws and, you know, and straws and so we had to start off with someone being up in 1 year and then some in 2 years and then
I think I might have the straws.
some in 3 years and
You think she's kidding, but I bet she does.
yeah, so it was,
It's been a file.
yeah, so it, you know, that was the procedure, so.
That's a good idea.
Um,
That's a really good idea. I'm
yeah, I
making,
mean, I realize this is June, we have
I
another
know.
one in August. And I could bring it up in August, but you know,
You know what? I'm gonna put it on my calendar
So
for the September. Maybe I should.
that's the only thing.
Okay, good, thank you. At this time, I'd like to thank everyone for joining us, and we'll see you at our next meeting, which is tomorrow at 4 o'clock. So at 5:09, the meeting is officially adjourned.